Even when the temperature outside gets cold, these girls definitely make the forecast hot. We take a look at 10 beautiful weather girls from America. Number 10. Jackie Johnson. Is Jackie Johnson really good at her job? To be honest, we have no idea. But after one look, it's obvious who I'd trust with my forecast. When standing in front of the weather map, Jackie looks pretty amazing. You can find her doing the weather out in Los Angeles, where both the weather and the women are pretty hot. Number 9. Sabrina Fain. Although there's probably a lot of interesting facts about Sabrina, there's really only 2 things you need to know. She does the weather in San Diego, and she's totally hot. Let's face it, if you really want to know the weather in San Diego, you can just look out the window and see that it's pretty much perfect all the time. It's obvious why news producers actually hired Sabrina, because what other reason is there to watch the weather in San Diego? Number 8. Maria Timmer. Originally hailing from Nicaragua, Maria Timmer can often be seen wearing little dresses on the air, which should lead to a pretty long career as a weather girl since she looks great in them. She is married to storm chaser Reed Timmer. It's unclear whether he chased her, but at least they have weather in common. Number 7. Evelyn Taft. Evelyn's upbringing in London, France, and Israel makes her a little bit more cultured than your average weather girl. This beauty actually learned to speak English by watching the Weather Channel. Interesting tidbit about Evelyn. There was a guy named Kyle Hunter who claimed he couldn't get a job because stations just wanted to hire hot women, and Evelyn Taft was actually named as part of the lawsuit. Hey Kyle, congratulations. You figured out how the world works. Number 6. Elita Loresca. Originally hailing from the Philippines, Elita's name could appear in all 10 slots on this top 10 list. This well-endowed weather girl has worked for numerous stations in the US. In addition to meteorology, she's also posed for several websites, taking advantage of the assets with which she has been blessed. Were they weather-related websites? The forecast gets a little cloudy there. Number 5. Jackie Gurito. The Northeast region of the United States is fairly well known for being quite depressing. The temperatures aren't quite as warm, and it rains far more often. So if you happen to live in, say, Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington, you might be better served by checking out the Miami forecast, where you could find Jackie Gurito. Originally from Puerto Rico, she does not only the weather, but also many other shows that happen to be favored by Hispanic communities. FYI, Jackie, I'm sure you'd be just as popular in Seattle. Number 4. Vera Jimenez. The reasons for including Vera on our list are pretty obvious. Although she was born in Mexico, at age 3 she relocated to California, obviously not on her own. As she grew up, she picked up some pointers about weather and became very hot. In all honesty, these are probably the only 2 things you need to have in order to do this job. At least the only 2 that would get you on this list. Regardless of her background, whenever Vera's forecast starts, the temperature definitely rises. Number 3. Cheetah Johnson. A weather girl whose name is just as fabulous as her body. The temperature is not the only hot thing in Houston. This beautiful blonde is also a bodybuilder. Not that you weren't already, but feel free to do a web search, and you'll find many reasons why Cheetah Johnson is so popular on Houston's airwaves. Number 2. Bree Winkler. While you can sense a common theme among many of the women on this list, Bree Winkler is a different kind of hot. She's the kind of woman that you drool over, but then you kind of feel bad because she's like the girl next door. That being said, you know you can't stop yourself from drooling over her, so just go ahead. Seriously, can you find an imperfection on this woman? Incidentally, she does the weather too. Number 1. Christina Blackwell. There are certain levels of attractiveness that are expected when you look at someone on television. Then there's this ridiculous level of hotness, which is where Christina Blackwell falls. I mean, does anybody actually learn about the weather when they watch Christina Blackwell? If she said it was going to be 1,200 degrees tomorrow, or she spoke in Cantonese, we would probably learn just as much. Would that stop us from watching Christina do the weather? Not a chance. Not a chance. Our forecast for Christina? Continued record heat.